Hey beautiful, I hope you're taking care of yourself, drinking plenty of water and getting some rest. So, Wuthering Waves finally announced the version 2.7 special broadcast livestream. Today, you and Queen Zani are going to discuss everything we can expect from it. Oh, and before we dive in, a quick reminder, there's a Lunite subscription giveaway in this video. All you need to do is like and comment on this video. First things first, the version 2.7 special broadcast is set to air on September 26, 2025. At 7 p.m. Universal Time Coordinated +8. And if we talk about 2.7 story, we are getting the final arc of the Rinascita chapter. Here's how it breaks down. Dawn breaks on Dark Tides, contains Acts 10 and 11 together, which will be available in Phase 1. Meanwhile, A Stranger in a Strange Land will act as an interlude in Phase 2, and from what we've heard, it's tied closely to Qiuyuan. So Phase 1 is all about this big double-act finale, and Phase 2 gives us a side story that digs into one of the new characters. And as always, we'll be getting 300 Astrite from redeem codes. And don't worry, I'll be posting all the codes in a community post, so you won't miss a single one. And if we talk about the version 2.7 update release date, well, it is expected to drop around October 9th, 2025. Now let's start with the banners, because that's where the hype always begins. In the first half of version 2.7, we're expecting Galbrina and Lupa banners, with Sanhua, Mortify, and Lumi joining as the featured 4 stars. Then, moving into the second half, we've got Qiuyuan and Queen Zani herself alongside Yang, Taoqi, and Danjin as featured 4 stars. It really feels like the update is giving us 2 completely different styles to play with, which is always a good sign for team building. So, which character are you planning to pull in version 2.7? I'd love to hear your picks. Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Alright, now let's move on to something just as exciting, quality of life updates in version 2.7. First up, we have a new terminal skin for Rover. Right now, the terminal of the Fraxidus isn't available, but once it is, you'll be able to swap Rover's terminal skin after unlocking new appearances, which indicates that in future we can get Rover skin too. Next, there's new eye protection mode. This adjusts the screen display for both the interface and in-game scenes, so your eyes don't get strained during long play sessions. You've got 3 options: low light, bright light, and custom. Custom mode is pretty neat because it lets you manually adjust color temperature, intensity, brightness, and texture strength. Just a heads up though, eye protection mode will temporarily turn off during summons and story cutscenes. Plus, another great addition is the Resonator Upgrade Planner, which auto-generates upgrade paths based on the resonators you own, perfect for planning your team efficiently. Basically, it manages and plans upgrades for your characters, their weapons, echoes, and skills. It shows you what materials are needed for each upgrade, highlights bottlenecks like limited items, and even gives recommendations for the best weapons, echoes, and builds for each character. The planner also lets you upgrade skills or equip items directly from the interface, making it much faster and easier to optimize your team without guessing or switching menus. There's also a Return to World button, which gives you quick access back to the overworld without multiple clicks, and a quick return feature to exit all UI layouts in one go instead of clicking X a couple of times. For character development, version 2.7 adds a new Resonator training program system. Here, you can quickly track the cultivation progress of your characters, weapons, echoes, and skills. It also shows recommended builds, material sources, and even suggested team combinations. Basically everything you need to optimize your roster in one place. Oh, and now you can change the main stat directly from the Echo upgrade menu, which is super convenient. And next thing is for my hardcore players, because we're getting Trail of Hardship, which is essentially a hard mode for certain main quest battles. Once unlocked, you'll face tougher enemies marked with special icons. You can toggle Trail of Hardship on or off in settings. They've also added a journey log to track your quest history, which might let you rewatch story scenes and cutscenes. Perfect for anyone who wants to revisit the story without replaying missions. And on top of that, small UI touches like showing your Lunite count alongside Astrite make resource tracking just a little easier. But that's not it, because we're also getting more QL updates. Endgame mode access. You know how annoying it's been to teleport, load, and run to every single endgame spot. Well, that's gone. Now you can open your map and jump straight into Tower of Adversity, Whimpering Waste, or Fantasy of Thousand Gateways. No more running around, just click and go. It's such a small quality of life change, but it's going to save so much time. But the real star for me is the Pioneer Training Ground. This is basically the testing arena we've been begging for. They're giving us 3 different environments to mess around in. You've got the elite area for boss-style fights, dummy for pure DPS testing and practicing your rotations, and minions for waves of mobs, so you can see how your AoE and crowd control builds stack up. It's literally a sandbox for your characters. All in all, these quality of life updates might seem minor on their own, but when you put them together, they make the game feel smoother, more organized, and simply more enjoyable to play. Alright, let's dive into the new echoes and bosses coming in version 2.7, starting with the echoes. This update is bringing some really fresh options that are going to shake up team comps. First up is Reminiscence Threnodia Leviathan. This echo summons a collapsing horizon, which hits nearby enemies twice for 131.04% havoc damage and grants you the Core of Collapse for 15 seconds. While the core lasts, it deals 24.57% havoc damage whenever the active resonator in your team deals damage. This can trigger once every 0.5 seconds, up to 8 times, and enemies with Havoc Bane take double damage from this effect. On top of that, the resonator with this echo in the main slot gets a 12% havoc damage bonus and a 12% resonance liberation damage bonus. The entire set has a 25-second cooldown, so timing is key. What makes it even cooler is that this echo introduces a brand new Sonata effect called Flamewing Shadow, which is also arriving in 2.7. This update is really pushing new mechanics and ways to play, and I'm honestly so excited to try it out. Flamewing Shadow itself is a 3-piece set all about synergy between heavy attacks and echo skills. When you deal echo skill damage, your heavy attack crit rate goes up by 20% for 6 seconds. Hit with a heavy attack, and your echo skill crit rate also rises by 20% for 6 seconds. The real kicker, when both effects are active at the same time, you gain a 16% fusion damage bonus. On top of that, version 2.7 is bringing nightmare echoes for players looking for a bigger challenge. And if that's not enough, there's also a new weekly challenge, Cinder Night Apocalypse, designed to test even the most prepared players. Now let's talk about the new bosses. Tactical Hologram is introducing Lioness of Glory, a brand new boss fight, and alongside that, Arsenosa Hologram is back with a challenge geared toward high-level players. So yeah, between all the new bosses, echoes, and the weekly challenge, version 2.7 is stacked with content, and there's a ton to look forward to. Alright, now let's talk about version 2.7 rewards and events, because this is where a lot of us are going to get our straight, and we all know how important that is. So, in 2.7, we're getting 2 login events. The first one is the usual, where we all get 5 Radiant Tides and 5 Lustrous Tides, and the second one is a sign-in activity in Phase 2. It's super simple. All you have to do is log in for 7 days, and you'll get 300 Astrides along with some other rewards. It's a nice little bonus for staying active in the game, even if you're busy. But the big highlight is the special event, Lament Recon Solaris Soldier. It's a combat simulation where you guide a resonator through waves of enemies in a holographic training world. As you fight, you earn enhancement modules to upgrade your resonator and weapons. The goal is to survive each wave while improving your gear, and any missed rewards will stay in your mail for 30 days. Next up is the Woo Planning Melting Ice event. Here, you will help Maji launch his new Woo Ice drink by completing daily tasks to earn Woo postage coins. Then, we have to spend these coins to get random special mail with rewards. Collect all mails in a round to unlock the next one, or get lucky with the Woo Shanda delivery, which gives you all mails at once. By the end, unused coins are recycled, making it a fun, task-based way to earn rewards while supporting Maji's project. Then, there's Sorrowful Action Soldier Sora. In this event, the Black Shores and Rinascita are testing a simulation to prevent future sea erosion. Here, you will help out with the exercise alongside your partners and earn 800 Astrides plus a sigil, a nice reward for a short event. Next is the Frontiers of Meteorological Edge of Qiuyuan. Here, you travel to different regions, activate devices, and complete time challenges by collecting as much detection data as possible. The more data you gather, the better the rewards. and using modules strategically can speed up your progress. Next, we have Freeze Silver, a fun event where you capture your resonators in action. Each day brings new frozen challenges with simple and hard modes. Completing simple mode unlocks both the hard mode and the next day's challenge. Once you've done that, free mode lets you freely choose which resonator to photograph and use the time slow prop to get the perfect shot. The event also includes the combat photo shoot portion, which works the same way, but focuses on characters performing specific actions, like Qiuyuan drinking or using a skill. Completing these challenges rewards up to 400 astrides and enhancement materials. So, that's all version 2.7 livestream. Of course, if I get any more info, or if anything changes, I'll update you guys instantly. And hey, if you've watched all the way to the end, you're an absolute legend.